Hello, PBS scholars and families. I would like to share with you this evening one of our Steamposium activities that was planned for our evening. And as most of you know, STEAM stands for Science, Technology, Engineering, Art, and Mathematics. I've already done a science video for you guys, and today I'm going to focus on the technology. Now, one of the centers that we were going to do was a center surrounded or having to do with the website known as Scratch. Now, some of you guys have heard of Scratch before. It really is just a coding website where kids can go and they can try coding for free. And Scratch has a lot of different features to it, but it also has a lot of things that can help scholars learn how to use the actual site. So I'm going to go to the Scratch website real quick. I'm sorry, the website is scratch.mit.edu. If you follow that URL, you can get to the website. Then once you get in, you can go to, this is what it looks like when it first comes up. Up at the top, there's a section here called Ideas, and it has tons of ideas and tutorials in it for scholars to go to, and they can get some ideas on what kinds of things they'd like to do with Scratch. There's a Getting Started button, which has some videos and some other things that you could do to get started on that. There's all different kinds of activities here that they can get tutorials on, and they all kind of walk you step by step through it. But I'm going to go real quickly to the Getting Started. If you just click on it, you can try it, how to create a project, and there's a quick little tutorial video.
With Scratch, you can make your own stories, games, and animations. Let's start by grabbing a move block. We can click the block to run it. There are many other blocks to choose from. Check out the different categories. Let's go to the sound category and grab a play sound until done block. I'll snap this onto our move block. When do we want these code blocks to run? Add an event block on top to start the code. I'll add the when green flag clicked block. You can easily reorder or delete these blocks at any time. Add as many characters as you want to your project and code each one. Check out the tutorials page for ideas and inspiration.
Okay, so like it said, there's tons of tutorials in there that you can go to if you want to learn how to do some of those activities. So that was one of the tutorials on how to get started. Another thing that we were going to have on the tables for Steamposium was the collection of coding cards. So if you download the collection of coding cards, you can see all different kinds of activities along with directions on how to do them. So for instance, animating a name, we would have this card on the table for Steamposium. They could go down and then there's some detailed directions on the codes that they need to add right here to do certain movements or spinning or whatever type of activity you'd like to do. There's over 100 cards in this collection. So it's a real quick download and they can pick and choose which cards they'd like to do for activities, try certain things out. So that's another resource. And again, in the ideas section, you have all those tutorials on different kinds of projects they can make. Animate their name, imagine a world, make a game, make music, create a story. There's all different kinds of tutorials in there and even more if you click here. A real quick look at the site. If you get to the create aspect of it, that's when scholars get to start creating an actual project. And they have little icons on the side here. And basically, these are the codes that they're moving on to their board. So for instance, if they want some kind of motion, they would carry this code over to their workboard, and that would become part of what their sprite, called a sprite, or it's a character, what their sprite will do. So for instance, with the motion, the first motion I gave them was to move 10 steps. So if I click on it, then you can see what the sprite does. So you move 10 steps. I can continue that and have him do other motions, like I could have him turn. We watch that, now he walks and turns. We could do another turn if we wanted to. We could Continue to have him turn around or turn back. So they can play around with that. Also in there, they can have other things that they can add to it, like a speech bubble, for instance, so they could say hello. So at the end, the character says hello. You could add sounds to it, like making the meow sound. So if I go back to it and click it again, makes the sound at the end. There's all different kinds of things that they can play with here on the side here as they add motions and things that they're doing to their sprites. They can add costumes to their sprite if they want to. They can add a sound that they make or music. There's a lot of different things that they can do. Basically, it's like coding a computer program. So this is a fun website. It's something that you and your scholar can work on together if you want. But again, if you want to have some insight into how it works, this tutorial section and the ideas section is really a great resource. You could try out one of the projects with your scholar, or you could use any of those cards that I pulled up before and try a project on that too. Basically, on the Steamposium Center, they were going to just be exploring this site, trying some of the projects, maybe some of the cards, and seeing if they can make a little animation through code. Thank you for your time today. I hope you enjoyed this activity.